In a world full of microtransactions, battle passes, Sweet Baby Inc., agenda pushing, there are only a handful of bright spots in what is basically a terrible video game industry. One of those bright spots, last year, it was the year of Larian, Baldur's Gate 3. It gave gamers hope that one day we could get to a place where games with integrity, focused on fun, the right things, could get to the forefront. Maybe this year, 2024, perhaps 2025, it could be the year of Warhorse Studios. They are responsible for Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's a great open world RPG that came out in 2018. It wouldn't even exist if it wasn't on Kickstarter, getting backed by the general public. But it came out, and they lived up to their promises. Great game. Elder Scrolls might be its closest contemporary, but it was a historically accurate game. It was a role-playing game, but it wasn't fantasy like the Elder Scrolls. And it did what it did extremely well. It had a great story, excellent exploration, a little bit rough around the edges, but I absolutely loved that you played as basically a bumbling fool who starts off as a nobody, but makes his way in the world. He's not a chosen one. He has to really build himself up, get powerful, and then later in the game, you reap the rewards of that. It feels great, and I wish more games did it. Now, it actually ended on a cliffhanger, and people have been waiting for some time to find out what Warhorse Studios are doing next. We kind of knew that there had to be a Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It may even have been confirmed at some point. Maybe not formally, but maybe they said something. But now we know that things are happening because there is a new game reveal from Warhorse Studios. It's coming on April 18th. If you look around, all these signs are pointing towards it actually being Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And I'll say that I had to sort of look into that because at first glance, some people were getting concerned that maybe this was a brand new IP, a brand new game, which would have been fine, but I think there's a lot of people looking forward to the second Kingdom Come. The concern came from maybe pedantic things like he's wearing black leather gloves and people started to get, oh, maybe Bloodborne vibes, what's going on here? But no, it seems that it very much is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And we can basically sit back and get excited about it. So aside from the Twitter post where they say in about a week's time, we are getting this official reveal, some leakers out there, Tom Henderson, he's usually known for sort of Xbox leaks. He comments on it, he mentions Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Another leaker, this Shinobi person, he leaks things occasionally, says the same thing, new game reveal, that's coming out. But if you look in the comments here, Tom Henderson, that leaker, does say, this isn't wishful thinking, by the way, it is Kingdom 2. This person hasn't been accurate about everything, so, I mean, it could be wrong, but I think if you're saying this a week out from the reveal, it's probably true, and it's not really a brave prediction anyway. All signs pointed to it. I mean, Kingdom Come Deliverance, it's basically through Embracer. So as we know, Embracer Group, they're in huge damning control. They've been closing studios left and right. But Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is kind of a safe bet because the first one was critically and commercially successful. It did quite well. And the fact that this game was close to the finish line, it could be coming this year. That's something we'll talk about. Is it coming this year or maybe next year? So Embracer Group would be seeing it as one of the ways to bring in more revenue. So this was never getting cancelled despite some people's concerns. And oh my god, are Embracer going to close the Kingdom Come Deliverance studios? But that wasn't going to happen because it was clear this was well in development and now it may be coming soon. And just the fact that this team, they've released one game, it was incredible, so they've basically got a great track record. Even the studio founder, Daniel Vovra, I believe his name is, he worked originally on Mafia, I think it was. He did the story and probably the game design of that title, and that has a fantastic story. He seems to always be focused on the right things. For instance, in the original Kingdom Come, he wanted it to be historically accurate. And he revealed as such, showed, hey, this is set in Europe, and a lot of people started to lose their minds because they looked at the trailer, what's going on? I can't see any people of color. This is a racist game. A lot of people were saying that. Well, he stuck to his guns and said, no, it's a historically accurate game. If the game was set somewhere else where there were only people of color, then that's who'd be in the game. So he stuck to his guns. He didn't pander. And he really came out and said, no, I want to make a game that is focused on the right things. I'm not going to listen to morons. He did just that. The game was fantastic in how it played. Again, the story was great. And people seem to like it. That's why so many people are excited about this new game. There have been some other leakers as well. So this person, Bill Khan, I believe is a prominent leaker, says the same thing. I wasn't expecting to see that so early. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is here. Now, with his early comment, I don't know if that means nothing and it was just announced early in his day, or if he's looking at that a bit deeper and is implying that the game is actually a fair ways out. I'd be a little bit sad if that was the case, because the first one came out in 2018, so it's been like 6 years, and they did DLC after that. Some of that I still need to play, actually. That might be nice, but it's probably been sort of 4 or 5 years development, you'd assume, on the sequel. So if it's another like 2-3 years away, that would be a little bit upsetting. But I'd prefer to let them cook it and get this right rather than rushing it out. That's another concern with Embracer. Because they're in such financial trouble, I'd worry that they'd try and push something like this out the door maybe much earlier than it's actually ready to try and bring in some revenue. That'd be a bit sad. But again, it should have been in development for some time. And I'd hope that they kind of have some hand in the equation, given that they released a commercially successful game. And maybe they can say to Embracer, no, we're one of your few studios who are profitable. We need to get this right. So I might be coping, but I'm hoping that early comment has nothing to do with when the game actually comes out. But we will see. Also this was around a week or two ago. It was actually posted on April Fool's Day. The date here where it says April 2nd is because I'm in Australia. We're in the future here, but it was actually April 1st. And so I don't think a lot of people really took notice of this tweet because you just don't read into things on April 1st. But it says the end, and it looks like it's part of maybe a game's credits or something. Maybe that means the game is playable from start to finish. I assume it doesn't mean the game's gone gold or anything like that. It's probably still a whiles away, but it could be something. And if the game is genuinely playable from start to finish and they're just doing bug fixes, maybe it is coming very soon. We can only speculate until they unveil it, but I hope we at least get a release date or some idea of when it comes out. And hopefully it's not just a cinematic trailer. It would be awesome to get some gameplay. The first looked incredible when it came out, even though it was, I suppose you wouldn't say an indie studio, but it was a smaller team. It was a Kickstarter-backed game. It still looked gorgeous. I remember my PC wasn't quite up to it when it came out, but just seeing those graphics, I'd never seen anything that realistic in a game before, and this wasn't coming from some huge renowned AAA team, so they've got some real talent there, and hopefully they've kept a lot of that for the sequel. I do just want to show you this as well, because there's been clues for the last couple of weeks that this was coming. There was a post here, I assume from a Kingdom Come Deliverance Warhorse Studios employee, who mentioned that Henry has come to see us. He's the main character in Kingdom Come. He saw us today at Prague. Actually, a moment ago, I wonder what that could possibly mean. And here's the voice actor and the character model of the original game. I assume he's the voice actor. I'm actually guessing there, but it definitely looks like the main character from Kingdom Come Deliverance. So I think it's a safe guess. Now, the fact that he's there, maybe he was just bumping into them, that's what some people thought, but now we kind of know things are happening, and maybe he was there to do voice work, maybe the voice work has already been done, and he was just kind of popping in because he's probably close with the team. They've worked together probably for 10 plus years now. It's another really nice clue. It hopefully means that the game isn't too far away. So I guess from here, if we look at the facts, I mean, the actual facts, what we 100% know is that they're revealing a game, and we don't know more than that, but all the clues, everything points towards it being Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. You've got the voice actors there, you've got the leakers saying this is the case, and again, it's not a real bold prediction. It makes sense, the first was successful, cliffhanger ending, there's more to work with, brand new studio at the end of the day, one game. They can improve on that. If they can make the second kind of more of the same, but really expand and improve a lot of those systems that might have been a bit rough around the edges, I mean, even the combat, it's actually quite fantastic once you get into it, but it maybe wasn't communicated that well. So just little things like that, so that there's a great perception from day one that there is a rich combat system. If you communicate that well to players, they can get into that system, reap the rewards of it. So hopefully they can get all of that right. And in terms of the release date, I'd really love it to be this year. I mean, Dragon's Dogma 2, by all accounts, is quite a good game, but I really just think they absolutely mucked up that first impression that they could have made on people. It came out, everyone was anticipating it, but all the crap with the PC performance issues, the microtransactions, it left a sour taste. And I know pretty much everyone at this point is going to say, hey, the microtransactions mean squat, they don't affect the game, it's a tiny thing. And that's totally fine, but they still left a bad taste on day one. And it meant that a lot of people just sort of thought, the hype's kind of died down, there's PC performance problems, I'm just going to hold off for a while. It doesn't mean that the microtransactions are ruining the game or anyone actually thinks that, but when you make a bad first impression and word of mouth isn't super positive, it is going to impact a game's legacy and its performance. And I just feel Capcom dropped the ball there. Whatever gains that they could have gotten from the microtransactions, I think they were wiped out by just ruining the reputation of the Dragon's Dogma brand. So maybe, given that was tainted a little bit and Dragon's Dogma 2 wasn't as big as it could have been, could this leave room for Warhorse Studio's Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 to be the biggest RPG of 2024? It could happen, it could release later this year. I'm kind of thinking, if I'm being realistic, it's probably next year. Games just seem to take longer and longer to make, and if this is another huge sprawling open world, lots to do, big cinematic story, it kind of makes sense that this one has a little bit left in the tank before it actually comes out. It could take a little while longer, but at least we're getting the information, because so long there was just radio silence. Some people were getting concerned. It's why they worried, are Embracer going to close these guys down because they're not making a live service or some sort of nonsense? There were some genuine concerns about all of that, but certainly not the case. We're getting the reveal. It can't be too far away. I hope it's 2024, but we'll just have to see. Thanks so much for listening. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye.